Okay, we are on job 41. This is our last couple of jobs in our Microsoft Word unit. This one is a fun one, but it's a little bit complex, so make sure you're following step by step exactly how to do this. So first thing we want to do, we want to change our page margins to narrow, and that's easy to do. If we go up, we can go to our layout, we can change our margins, and we can select them to just be narrow. So we have a little bit more space to work with here. So we have that, we're looking good, and now we're going to change our page orientation from portrait to landscape. Orientation is going to go to landscape, looking good. All right, so type the information as shown below. We need to make sure that we follow these font formats exactly. We don't need to put those arrows on the page like we have it, but we need to make sure that we do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Trivia night, nice and easy. Let's type that in. And we need to make it a size of 90. So I'll go in here, I'll type 90, that looks good. Color needs to be blue, perfect, and we need to center align this. We have done so. Okay, next thing we need to do, maybe leave a space, and we need to type in every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. That needs to be font Verdana, and size 24, perfect, and every Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Lovely. Okay, so this is going to be orange. And leave a couple of spaces there. And what does it say? It says the winning team, oh, that's nice. Winning team gets $25 in gift cards to SJB Pizza. Whoa, whoa, that's a pretty good deal, eh? And we're going to do it in the best font there is, Comic Sans. So let's find Comic Sans. Where you at, fan? There we go. Comic Sans, size 26, looks good. And what color? We're doing it in a wonderful green. That looks good. This to me looks like we need to bump this down a little bit, and we'll bump this down a little bit to make it look kind of like my page here. So now we've done this. This looks good, but we need to insert some shapes and kind of format them. So to insert shapes, we go to our insert command. We're going to go to our shapes command, and we need to make like a cool looking star there. So if we scroll on down, this star looks pretty sweet. Let's pick this star, and I can just draw by clicking and holding a nice little star however I see fit. So here's my star. I'm going to put it right over top of Trivia Night, and you notice I can no longer see Trivia Night, which isn't so great. I'm going to make it even a little bit bigger. All right. So this isn't good. So how do we fix it? Well, first, before we fix it, let's handle all the colors and all that stuff. So it says we need to fill this color a dark red. So if we go up to here, you'll notice that we have a new tab pop up called Shape Format. So if we click off of it, this tab will disappear. If we click onto it, voila, Shape Format pops up. So we can go there, and we need to pick a dark red that looks like this. That looks pretty good. The shape outline is going to be purple. So here's our shape outline. Click on this. We're going to make it purple. And you can't really see that, which is a problem, and that's why we said weight needs to be 6 instead of 1. So we're going to do that. Perfect. Looks wonderful to me. So now what we need to do is we need to put an effect on this thing. So for effects, there are a couple places we can go to do that. And so one of the places we can go is just shape effects here. So we want a bevel effect. You can choose whichever one you want. This one looks kind of cool. I'm going to hit that one. Yeah, all right, looks good. But that still hasn't solved our problem that we can't see the text behind it, which is a little bit of a problem for us because we want to be able to read it. So what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on it, and you can go to one of these two, bring to front, send to back, or up here where it says arrange, you could also find all of these options available for you as well. I always like right-clicking just because it's right there for you. I'm going to send this all the way to the back, and that way the SJB will pop up. So when I click on this, I'm going to send this to the back. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening here, dogs? Oh, ho, ho, sir, you're so sneaky. I thought this was, I'm sorry, guys, I thought this was word art. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back to there. We can arrange, and we actually don't need to send it backwards. We actually need to send it all the way behind the text, which is a little bit different. So here, I sent it all the way to the back, but there's no other images there. There's just text. So we have to send it all the way behind our text, and then it will pop up. Oh, sir. Losing it on us, I know. So this looks good. Our trivia night is there. It's fairly readable and it's lovely. Next thing we want to do is insert our text boxes. So let's go to Insert, and then we can draw a nice little text box here for us. So we go to Insert, we hit our text box. Now we get to draw a text box wherever we want. It looks like it's going to end up here, so we might as well draw it in this spot for now. Perfect. Good looking text box. So what are we writing? We're writing at SJB Pizza, the very popular Instagram handle, of course. And we need to change the font. So we're changing it to Arial. So we're going to go to Home, select our font, Arial, if I can spell, and we're going to set it to a size of 48. Whoa, that's a little big. So what do I need to do? I might need to adjust using these side profiles here, adjust how big this thing is. This is also in the center, so we need to make sure that it's in the center of my text box. Looks good. And shape style. So we can again go to our shape format because we're dealing with a text box, which means we can apply some of our formatting to it. And now we can choose one of the presets. So the presets are really cool. You can hit like orange and make this thing orange, or blue, or you can change it to really whatever you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to olive green with a white border. So here's my olive green with the white border. Hey, and that looks pretty nice. Perfect. So now, next thing we're going to do is get some online pictures and clip art. So it's so much easier getting pictures off Google. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's always a good idea to know how to kind of get our online pictures right from here. So if we go to Insert Pictures, we can do it this way, or some people like doing it this way as well. Insert Picture. So we're going to get an online picture here. Looks good. They're just loading up the pictures for us to choose from. So we can search any kind of picture we want. We're going to search question mark with face. We don't want any of those. Too ugly. No thanks. No. Oh, ho, ho, that's the one. So we'll click on this. We'll go to Insert. And holy majoli, look how big this is. So we're going to reduce the size of this thing here. And you'll notice it's a little tough to move this guy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click on it, and we're going to right click, and we're actually going to do a little trick here. We're going to go to something called wrap text. We're going to go to wrap text, and then we're going to hit square, and this is going to allow us to move it a little more freely. So why don't we do that? And now we can move this thing kind of where we want. It's just going to move everything else kind of out of the way for us. So it's still a little big. I'm going to reduce the size of it. That way it's not getting in the way of our trivia night. And I'll set it there. And that looks great. That's exactly how we have it in our little tutorial. Perfect. Now we just need one more, and we're going to get this one from Google actually. So it says we need to go on Google and search people eating pizza. Okay, we can do that. People eating pizza. Okay, we'll go to images, and this picture looks lovely. So I can just click on it and take the really big picture, but I don't even need it that big, so maybe I'll just take the picture that's already here for me. So I'll right click on this, I'll click copy image, and then I'll bring it back here. So I will paste this thing in, and when I did this, it moved all my text away, which makes me very sad. So we have to do the same thing. We want to be able to move this picture around freely. It doesn't really let me do it right now, so I'm going to click on this, right click, and we do the same thing, wrap text, square. And now when I do this, I can move this, and it'll just move my text over to allow some room for my picture. Isn't that friendly? All right. So after this is in, we're going to resize our text accordingly so everything fits on one line. So this is right now too big, so let's just drop it down until it fits on one line. Perfect. Maybe bump this down 1, 2. And this is a beautiful looking poster. All done.